It is November of 2022. I thought I would clean the studio today, but then I got this, I got this completely wild hair up my ass because I'm having some trouble with workflow. Let me see if I can pan this camera without knocking it over. Over here is the desk where I tend to sit and do all the editing. That's why Kronos is parked right here, because it's kind of the controller for all of this stuff out here. So I don't have to keep getting up and running around. Okay, I'm having a little bit of studio envy because I see a lot of these people on the interwebs with their beautiful studios, and they're kind of surrounded by all their stuff, and it's all within arm's reach. And I kind of want that, but at the same time, I really love this room. Let me pan a little more here. I really kind of love this room. This is my front door. So you are literally walking into my house and you see this pretty large room that all my stuff is in right now. And that alone is kind of cool. But again, for workflow, for creating music or playing these instruments or doing the things that I like to do, fiddling around with stuff, it's a little hard to do. And so I'm trying to think of a better way. So since I'm tearing everything apart for cleaning, I thought that I would spend this weekend completely destroying this entire studio that I have set up here and try something different, but I guarantee you 99.999% chance that this is all going to be right here come next weekend. Before Thanksgiving, you're going to see everything right here where you see it right now. I mean, what else am I going to do with my weekend? Make music? Not likely. So let's commence with tearing the studio apart. For a quick walkthrough of what's going on, let's head over to the desk. So here is the work desk. Here's where I spend most of my time, not only with music, but also with my day job. I sit right here on this computer and do my work. But right here I have the newest addition to the studio is this Avid S3 and dock. And believe me, I absolutely love that thing. It has made at least that effort so much easier. Absolutely love it. Hold on, let me turn on my little fancy lights here. My little fancy $10 Amazon lights. Because plugging lights into the S3 apparently doesn't work. Here's another thing that I wanted to do. If I'm going to do live streams, I kind of wanted to be able to use my A10 Mini to control various cameras or various angles or whatever. But it only seems to work on the Mac. I can't seem to get it to work on Windows. So anyway, this is where I do all my editing, mixing, and most of the recordings. I do the recordings, like I say, I use Kronos as a controller to control the massive amount of keyboards out there. All these keyboards then, of course, route down into the Mackie down here, which is the DL32R Mackie mixer, which is 32 channels in. As an audio interface, it's really badass. You can also plug a USB drive directly into that, and it can be a recorder, like a live recorder. This is a great mixer. It has enough room for all of my stereo inputs to come into, and then have an extra one for a vocal or a guitar player friend or whatever. Up under here is the Furman Power distributor and the Alesis Multimix headphone amp. So that gives me six headphones. So that's kind of how all that is working. And that's why right here, let me back up a bit. Right here is kind of my little workspace. And it works really well with the exception of all this stuff out here that I want to explore is kind of now out of reach. So that means I'm getting up off my lazy ass and I'm having to walk all the way around here, all this way to come over here and then get into something. While it isn't a whole lot of physical effort, what it is inconvenient. That I'm sitting over there doing something and I want to come and change a parameter over here, I literally have to come over here and do that. So it's a little bit of a pain. And again, studio envy, I kind of want all this stuff within arm's reach. And so I'm trying to think of different ways to do that. And one of the ways, if I stayed in this room, one of the ways would be, of course, to just lay things out along the wall there. It's a pretty big wall, so I could probably fit 3 racks right there. Occasionally, I'll move this desk over to here, facing the windows, and then I'll surround everything around me this way. But I wound up with a little bit more stuff this year. So there is this new rack with the Summit and the Hydrosynth. So now I have 12 physical keyboards Oh man. Even just talking about this is giving me anxiety. So first guy to unplug will be the Kronos. So there's the Hammond, the Deep Mind. Here's the old stuff from the 90s, the two Alesis keyboards. That's how much I loved Alesis. I bought a second one. And then the really old stuff. This stuff goes back to the 80s. This is the DW8000 and the DX7. And over here we got our beloved Jupiter. Pretty much everything in here is beloved. System 8, which I use primarily with modular. It's mostly my modular interface because it has CV gate out. And then of course we have Integra and Noodler. And then the new boys, the new kids on the block. Oh, yeah, and then I have this, oh man, got this storage box here. I don't know if I can do this. Yeah, this is probably a terrible idea. All right, let's give it a whirl. All right, so the first thing I guess it's gonna go is Kronos and Cosmos. I just recorded that little Cosmos experiment yesterday, and so that's why this is set up the way it is. But Kronos is out of here. Let's move his stand, and let's clear out this room. I'm going to kill the camera because the rest of this cleanup is just putting all these wires away, which is by far the worst part of this entire process. So, see you in a bit.